Danny, first home game of the season on Tuesday, but we've also got Hartlepool to reflect on before that.
Yeah, we were frustrated Saturday, disappointed with losing the game. I think that if we'd have performed second half how we did first half, I think we'd have thoroughly deserved to lose the game because we weren't good enough first half. They played some really good football and they deservedly went in with a lead, albeit by a penalty, but they had some chances before that they could have taken as well. And we obviously already spoke about the chance that we had, probably the best chance of the half, ironically. But I think for us it was more disappointing because having weathered that storm and only been 1-0 down, and then to get the equaliser the way we did, and then to perform the way we did for the next 10-15 minutes, I felt that we were only ever going to be the winners in that game, and actually a draw would have been quite disappointing. But then you hit that last 10-minute spell and you think, right, okay, Hartlepool away, first game of the season, shut up shop, let's just get the point and let's just get ourselves back on the road with something on the board. But again, a little bit of naivety and whatnot, and as I've already said in the post-match, it was hard for Shad. He'd been in with the boys for probably the whole sum of about 2 hours, and then we've thrown him into a game. And I was even asked today, in hindsight, would I have changed it? And it's like, no, because he needs to play. And you know what? I know he's going to be more than fine for us. So it's one of those things. But disappointment, but a lot of positives to take out of, especially the second half.
You know, despite the result and despite the performance in the first half, we move on now to our first home game of the season against Sutton on Tuesday.
Yeah, and look, they had a fantastic result on Saturday. And we always talk about the standard and the sort of difficulty of the league, and just because it's a home game, and look, if we had 1,800, 2,000 Shots fans behind us, we'd back ourselves against anyone. But it's an empty stadium, and it just becomes a grass pitch. And I think from that perspective, it takes a little bit away from the event, it being the first game of the season. However, from our perspective, like I said, there's a lot to build on from Saturday, and the way the boys trained today gives us that kind of impetus that we need to kick on and hopefully put those first 3 points on the board.
And even though they won't be there physically, they'll be there virtually and hopefully offering their support through our TV show and stream.
100%, and as I mentioned in my programme notes, that it's about making the best of a bad situation, and the best thing we can do now is hopefully as many get behind the TV show as we possibly can. I've seen the mock-up of what it's going to look like, and the draft is going to be probably quite unique for the league. It's probably going to be the best live stream in the league, so we need to take advantage of that by getting behind it and making sure as many people subscribe to it as possible.
You mentioned Sutton winning their first game of the season as well, but like you said beforehand, anyone could beat anyone in this league, so anything's possible on Tuesday.
Just look at the results this weekend. You look at Stockport, you look at Notts County, you look at Solihull, you look at Dagenham, 4 teams that will definitely back themselves to get promoted this season, and they've all come away with zero, despite the investments and whatnot. And that's not because they've not done their work, that's because the league's tough, regardless of how big budgets are and whatnot. People roll their sleeves up, and they'll be big scouts for those teams. And I think from our perspective, we need to approach every game in the same manner, and that is that it's going to be tough. We've got to outwork our opposition, and I thought we worked hard on Saturday. I do think we worked hard. I think we reacted a little bit too slowly at times, but we still put the effort in. And if you look at the sort of distance the lads covered, there's not anyone on there that I'd look at and say didn't put a shift in. And I think we proved that with the fact that we were still in the game, and actually we had a point on the board with 3 minutes to go till full time. But look, it's a really tough league, and I think this year's going to be tougher because nobody really knows what everyone's about. Everyone's pre-season's been a little bit disjointed. Signings have been disjointed, and there'll be teams that pick up late. I bet there'll be a couple of teams that come late in the season. But from our perspective, it's taking each game as it comes, and that one is Sutton, and we've just got to make sure we do everything we can to hopefully make Saturday's result for them not such a good one.
We have a few players recovering for a number of injuries. Obviously, Kins had his operation this week, and GK's been out with a slight knock. How are they all doing?
Yeah, Kins had surgery, so we're waiting to get clarification of just how successful that was. But he's in absolutely fantastic hands with the people that he's gone to. So I'm sure he'll be fine, and it would have all gone well, and he'll be on his road to recovery. Chike, he's still suffering a little bit, so we have to make sure we manage him properly. And Ross McCormack is just fitness, just making sure we keep him fit.
Apart from that, everyone else is fit and ready to go.
Everyone's fit and ready to go.
you win with a shot. For more information, click the link in description.